Germans at the Allen Memorial had this incredible sensory deprivation system going on for years and years, and somebody we know that has come to this room was part of the group who worked on with Dr. Cameron and others.
Who was that? Who was it?
I'll be unnamed, but somebody that I know worked with Cameron doing the sensory deprivation experiments in the late 50s, early 60s at the Allen Memorial.
CIA program.
And it was a CIA program developing a whole new thing after the Korean War. And McGill was quite happy to support that.
Thank you, Brian. We remember that, but
We essentially talked about the Americans doing this and third world countries, where essentially it has been part of the, if you like, the tradition of the almost the judicial system. If you think of it, in countries like Bavaria, which was an independent country until the first unification of Germany, torture was described as part of the procedures under the legal code. The suspect is tortured until justice is administered. It was, if you like, in that context, a cheap and quick way of investigation, a lazy man's way of investigation. But what I'm more concerned with in contemporary times, Britain and France. Now, if you read the literature that was created immediately after the Algerian War, it turns out that the French engaged in a lot of torture. And the usual excuse was that there was a situation where there was a bomb known to explode in 2 hours somewhere. This person was assumed to know where this bomb is going to blow up. If you torture him and get to the bomb, you can save lives. And that was the usual type of rationale. In the case of the British, it was a little bit more like it was in the United States before the Bush administration. I think the code words spoken to interrogators were, "You must now speak roughly to the subject."
Roughly.
Essentially the same story. We all know the dreadful stories in Russia and Germany, but those totalitarian dictatorships. All I'm really trying to say here is that this torture type of business, if you look at the world as a whole, is more the rule than the exception. And we are very lucky in Canada because we can feel, if you like, morally superior, because I really don't think there's any of it going on in here.
Oh yeah, the RCMP? Come on.
Persuasive, but I think throughout history, extremely nasty things happening. One of the nastiest things happening was done by a Byzantine emperor against Bulgarians. After he defeated the Bulgarians, he divided them in two groups. He blinded half of them, and he took one eye out of all the others. And the one-eyed had to lead the blind back to Bulgaria.
And that's where the saying comes from.
That's right. And the result was the Bulgarians didn't invade the Byzantine emperor again. That was a very effective thing. So, I mean, history is full of nasty stuff. However, when the Vice President of the United States tries to justify that, then an important threshold is crossed. And that important threshold has to be resisted, because he has made an apology for torture. That torture has existed throughout time, sub rosa and hidden, is one of the bad things, but one of the tolerable things. But when you say we could do it, and we will do it under certain circumstances, a very, very dangerous threshold is crossed.